Namaste. Good evening, dear friends. Welcome to today's webinar based on Swami Kriyananda ji's book, Living Wisely, Living Well. The reading for today is Imagine every difficulty, every desire, every attachment soaring up and away from you like a balloon, growing smaller with distance until it disappears. Then return to your essential self and enjoy your release into infinite freedom. Such beautiful lines by Swamiji. Well, friends, Swamiji used to say, imagine that you are sitting in the basket of a hot air balloon and the balloon is all ready to soar up. But suddenly you find there is something stopping you, the balloon, to go up into the sky. And then you look all around and you find that the balloon and the basket both are tied to the ground with various cords, some thin as threads and some as thick as chains. And this is the same thing that happens with us. We as souls find that we are bound to matter by chains, by cords, by threads of desires, attachments, and the difficulties born of desires and attachments. So if we want to soar up high into the sky of freedom, then one by one we have to cut all these cords that bind us. The cords that are thin as threads can be snapped with your hand, but the ones that are like thick chains, they will need the axe of discrimination and the axe of high energy and the grace of God to set you free. Allow yourself to rise into the sky of freedom. Then, friends, Swamiji says, return to your essential self. And today we shall discuss as to what is the essential self and how are we going to return to it. In Sanskrit, it is said that each human being is Jad, Chetan, Granthi. Jad means matter, Chetan means consciousness, and Granthi means a knot or a gland. This means that we all are a combination of matter and consciousness. The problem is that we forget that we are Chaitanya or consciousness, and we lead our lives wrongly identified with the limited body, with matter alone, and there starts our problem. Talking about the body, let's discuss what is the essential difference between a living body and a dead body. If I were to put the dead body in sunshine and then give it some food, some water and some oxygen, do you think it will come to life? Well, we all know that the answer is no. So then what is that essential ingredient that is present in a living body but not in a dead body? That is prana or life force. It is the presence of this life force in a living body which helps to convert the energy of sunshine, food, water and oxygen into usable energy. Without this pranic power, without this life force, the body cannot live. So the next question is, from where has this prana of the body come? And the answer to this is that the prana of the body is derived from the prana of the universe, the cosmic prana or cosmic energy. There is energy everywhere. And about 100 years ago, Einstein solved many of our problems by giving us the equation E is equal to mc squared, in which he said that all matter is energy. And in fact, even before Einstein said so, Sri Yukteswarji had already declared it in his book, The Holy Science, that all matter is energy. So the next question would be, from where has this cosmic energy come? From where is it derived? The answer to this question is given in all ancient Indian scriptures and is also resonated by scientists today. And the scriptures say that all energy is coming from thought. The scientists today say that the created universe is resting on thought. The will and thought of the Creator is creating energy and then matter. And it is said that even subtler and finer than thought is consciousness, or a field of self-awareness which just is, which has no beginning, which has no end. And this is called cosmic consciousness. And friends, this is actually our true reality. So now when cosmic consciousness creates the body and enters into the body, it uses various faculties to make the body work. What are these faculties? These are ego, intellect, the sense mind, and feeling. And all these use the data that is derived from the senses. So once the cosmic consciousness, which is infinite and eternal, starts to live through the body, over a period of time, it starts to define itself only as the body. And living through the senses, what happens next is very, very expected. In a limited world of Maya and a limited being, at least he's thinking to be limited, living through the senses, in a world of attractions, in a world of colors, develops desires and attachments. I want this, I want that. This is mine, that is mine. And we forget then to let go. We forget to return to the eternal truth of who we are. And this is where Swamiji says, allow these desires and attachments to soar up like small balloons, as if you're holding the balloons in your hand, and just leave each balloon one by one, all desires and attachments. Then as they rise up into the sky, watch them rise, and they become smaller and smaller, and eventually they vanish from your eyesight. And all you can see is the clear blue sky. And that is our essential self. If we see this from another perspective, returning to our essential self would mean retracing our steps back from the way we have descended. That is, from body consciousness to energy consciousness to thought consciousness, and then to cosmic consciousness. So we can see our being in a sense that we are the body, yes, to an extent, but the body is superimposed with many abstract qualities. What are these abstract qualities? These are love, joy, power, peace, calmness, wisdom, isn't it? Aren't our bodies superimposed with these abstract qualities? And to think of it, these abstract qualities have no limiting definitions, have no limiting boundaries. They are infinite and eternal realities. So if we were just to bring the needle of our attention to these abstract infinite qualities, rather than just the finite body, it would be a way to return to our essential self. And here I would like to read out a few lines from our Guru, Paramahansa Yogananda. He says, "You are living by spirit, but happen to be living in a body. You are just favoring the body by staying here. You are infinite spirit. Your knowledge is omnipresent. You are part of paradise. Your wings of eternity are spread over all space. For a time you dreamt that you were in a little cage, but the truth is that you are a free soul." Such beautiful words, friends. One thing that Swamiji said that, as we have desires and attachments, and we know because of Maya we get entangled into them, and until all desires are fulfilled, the soul, it keeps getting more and more bodies and gets involved in this cycle of births and deaths. It is only after multiple births and deaths does the being realize the pain hidden behind their desires and attachments. And it is then that it wants to become free. It is then it wants to return home to God, to its own essential self. But in its journey of so many incarnations, the soul gathers and amasses many self-definitions. For example, in this lifetime, I can say, my name is so-and-so, age is so-and-so, I am daughter of so-and-so, I live here in so-and-so address, my profession is so-and-so. But if we look very closely, we find that these all definitions are of the body. I'm talking about the name of the body, the age of the body, the address of the body, the physical parents of the body, and the profession of this body. None of this definition truly defines who I am. In this whole process of amassing self-definitions, we have forgotten our essential nature, which is infinite and eternal. So friends, if we want to return to that true self, we need to banish limiting self-definitions. And Swamiji has given us beautiful pointers how to go about it. He says, firstly, try not to think yourself as a male or a female. You just happen to be in a male body or a female body. But the truth is that the soul has no gender. So anytime you feel that, oh, I'm a man and I can do this work, but I cannot do so-and-so work, then try to pause and cross over. And anytime you feel that, oh, I'm a woman and these things are not meant for me and these things are meant for me, pause a moment and try to cross over. Each of us has the ability, the potential to do all the things that this planet has to offer and even beyond. The next thing Swami said, that as you age, do not identify yourself with the age of the body. In fact, when Master was in his body, in Mount Washington, there was a child named Jan who used to live with his mother. And Master used to say, little Jan is not a child, he is a grown-up man. He was basically saying that inside this little fleshy human body is someone else. And when he was talking of himself on his birthday, Master used to say, my age is one, eternity, infinity. Don't talk about the age of my house. House meaning body. Thirdly, Swamiji says, try not to identify yourself with your caste, your family, or pedigree. Don't have pride in saying that, oh, I am from this noble family, or I am from a family of Brahmins, or I am from this great rich political background. Leave these limiting definitions alone. He then goes on to say, do not identify with the religion that you're born into. Do not say, I'm a Hindu, I'm a Christian. Instead, it is better to say, I love Lord Krishna, I love Jesus Christ. In fact, a saint said that it is fortunate to be born in a religion, but it is unfortunate to die in one. Meaning that in your life, if you have not understood that all religions are one, that there is but one God, and we are all His children, then this is unfortunate. Swami also says, do not identify yourself with your talents or your preferences. Something like, I'm a musician, I'm an artist, I'm a painter, I'm a teacher, so on. Because these again are temporary roles that we are playing. Instead, you can say, I paint, I do business, and not, I am a businessman, I am a painter. So again, the I should not be so important, and the temporary role that you are playing is also not important. Then Swami says, do not identify yourself with your IQ. Now this is a big one. Most of us compare with our intellect levels, and intellect, we said, is just one of the faculties that the soul works with when it is in the body. So do not close yourself to a number of the IQ. Do not identify yourself with the image that you project onto others. For example, even if you say, I am kind, then again you're caught up in the I, which is limiting, and kindness, though a great virtue, is still just a stepping stone into infinity. We should remember that infinity means triguna rahitam, and kindness, like other virtues, is part of sattvic tendencies. So yes, from tamas to rajas and to sattva, but then we have to rise even beyond sattva. If someone praises you, then immediately give the credit to God. Know that it is by the power, by the intellect, by the energy given to you by God that you are able to perform any of the tasks that you are doing. On the other hand, if someone criticizes you, just accept calmly and introspect. If there is a scope of improvement in yourself, then just mentally say, thank you, I will try to improve myself. And finally, Swami says, never say that I'm a sinner. Sin simply means error. And if you keep identifying yourself with the small errors or mistakes that you make, and if you keep feeling guilty, and if you say that, if you feel that you must be punished for what you've done, then basically you yourself are putting away the God-given power to learn from the errors and to rise above them. So leave all these self-definitions. But there's a catch here. Leaving self-definitions doesn't mean that you become a nihilist. Means, I don't believe in anything, I don't trust in anything, I want to do nothing, I don't want to become anything. So this is becoming a nihilist. And this is not going to lead us anywhere, because again, we are limiting ourselves to the small I and a self-definition that I believe that life has no purpose and I want to do nothing. Instead, Swami said, banish self-limiting definitions. You can use definitions like, I am a free soul, I am a child of God, my Father and I are one, I am a friend of all, I am a world citizen, and rise even beyond that and say, I am Satchitananda, I am ever existing, I am ever conscious of my existence, and I am ever new joy. I am power, I am wisdom, I am calmness, I am peace, I am love, I am sound, I am light. I am that I am. I am made of God's light. Expand yourself into infinity. Another way of returning to our essential self is calming the feelings of our own heart. Now, desires, attachments, difficulties are going to create vortices of feeling, whirlpools of feeling, waves of feeling. Sometimes these waves are going to be just small ripples, sometimes larger waves, and sometimes in storm-like proportions, like a hurricane or a tornado. What these emotions are going to do is they're going to obscure reality, and they're going to keep you tied up with delusion. Therefore, it is very important that we calm our feelings, and that is why Patanjali gave the definition of yoga as chitta vritti nirodha, means neutralization of the vortices of feeling. In fact, all those who have heard the Hanuman Chalisa I'm sure all of you have. The starting lines of Hanuman Chalisa are Shri Guru Charana Saroj Raj Nijman Mukuru Sudhar. This means, with the dust of the feet of my Guru, I cleanse the mirror of my mind. The next line is Baranau Raghubar Bimal Jasu Jo Dayak Falchar, meaning, in the clear mirror of my mind will be reflected Sri Ram, the Lord, who is the bestower of all boons. So friends, when we calm the feelings of our heart, then the mind becomes like still water or a perfect mirror in which our own true nature of spirit is clearly reflected. The question comes as to how can we calm our feelings? And talking about desires and attachments, the first and the easiest way to calm our feelings is to live a simple life. Master used to say, why do you say I want this and why I want that? Why have so many desires? First understand why you are living this life. Why are you here on this planet? Therefore, modify your desires, simplify your life, use your available time and energy to seek the highest truth of your own being, the highest truth of the universe. Another way of calming the heart's feeling is not to keep your sense of joy or sense of security with others. Do not lean onto others for your sense of happiness. Self-sufficiency is a great virtue. It is a sign of spiritual advancement. In fact, I am remembering a story from the time of Alexander. So when Alexander was invading India, he wanted to invade India, and he came on our land. He came to know about a yogi, a great yogi who had some powers. He wanted to meet the yogi, but he himself had so much pride that he didn't personally want to go, so he sent a messenger. So the messenger gave this message to the yogi. "Oh yogi, if you come to meet me, I will give you loads of wealth. But if you don't come, I will chop off your head." To this, the yogi smiled and sent the message back with the messenger. The message to Alexander was, "O king, the loads of riches that you are talking about has no meaning for me. And if you want to chop my head, you will have to come to me." The yogi was so self-sufficient in himself that neither he had the need for any wealth or outward riches, nor was he attached to his own body, because he knew fully well that he was not just that body. He was the infinite consciousness. So be sufficient into the self. Other ways are, when difficult circumstances come, try to maintain calm. Now, calmness is not apathy. It means a joyful acceptance of the situation. What comes of itself, let it come. But I shall be calm, cheerful, and even-minded under all circumstances. Do not give your power of happiness to circumstances. It should be with you. And to stay even-minded and calm, a helpful thing is to be in the company of people who are calm, even-minded, peaceful, and uplifted, in the company of whom you yourself feel at peace, feel uplifted, people who have high energy, high joy, people who, like yourself, are seeking the truth. Also, if sometimes people, they don't live up to your expectations, or they hurt you sometimes, then give this to God. Say, "God, you have created this world. This world is yours. These children are yours. These circumstances are yours. In Sanskrit, the word idanamam is used. This means, this is not mine. Leave all attachments and you will find that you are leaving all pain behind. Another way to rise above your own difficult feelings and emotions is to serve others. As you think of others, as you serve others, you rise beyond the I, me, and mine. And the cause of all pain and difficulty is the I, me, and mine. So love others, be kind to others, serve the God present in all others. Practicing devotion, developing bhakti, this is a great way of calming the heart's feelings. So when we talk of bhakti, it's not the sensational emotion that we are offering to God. We are talking about calming the emotions, calming the feelings. So it is a deep power. It is a deep love which is steady. And this is so powerful that it can wash away all your worries and fears, all your desires and attachments. When you are attached to God, you will automatically detach from the world. Also, contemplate on your own truth. Ask yourself this question: am I this body? Am I the thoughts that I think? Am I the feelings that I feel? Or am I beyond all this? Am I the love? Am I the joy that expresses through this body? Keep meditating on this thought. Whenever you are working, focus completely, with full attention, yet with a free heart, always knowing that God is the doer. This way, any emotions or feeling arising from the work that you do or the attachments thereof developing will be banished. Another important thing that Swami says is be playful. Seriousness is very egotistical. It creates a lot of tension. It ties you to delusion. Be relaxed. Be centered in yourself. Be spontaneous. Be joyful in the moment. I'm sure you all remember the time when Master brought a toy pistol and a parachute to Swami, and he just switched off the light and just shot it in the air, and then later laughed and asked Swami how he felt. And later he quoted the Bible and he said, "Suffer little children to come unto me, for such is the kingdom of God." And you've all heard Shakespeare say, all life's a stage. In fact, a similar thought is expressed in the Guru Granth Sahib. Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, "Main hoon param purakh da dasa, vekhan aya jagat tamasha." Meaning, I am the servant of the great God, the Param Purusha, and I have come here to see the drama of life. If you still feel attached and still have desires and the pain thereof, just remind yourself of the nursery rhyme, "Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream." And we all know what a beautiful song Swamiji wrote, "Life is a dream." Finally, the most important technique that will help you to come back to your essential self is the technique of concentration that the rishis of India gave to us and through our master Paramahansa Yogananda. This is the Hong Saw technique. This is the only technique, friends, that helps you to become a direct witness to the activities of God. It is God who is breathing through us. It helps you to watch how God comes in as the breath enlivens the body, and how he moves out as the breath. Practice Hong So more and more deeply, more sincerely, with devotion. Paramahansa Yogananda said that this technique alone can lead you to enlightenment. So friends, if you meditate regularly and sincerely and develop the attitudes of bhakti, jnana and right action, then you will be easily able to return to your essential, joyous, loving self. Thank you all. Namaste.